August 20th, 2009. This is Edible Acres. Today I'm going to talk about transplanting berries, specifically some black currants that I have. Now that it's mid-August, it's pretty hot, it's been dry, and so I want to talk about how I'm getting water to them to irrigate the roots and then getting them out of the ground and moving them. And this is my water catchment from a previous video. You can see it's holding some good water now. Some issues with it. You can see the level is in such a way that the top of this one is low enough that these aren't all holding as much water as they could, but that's for another discussion. You can see all these little containers here though. They're 5-gallon containers. I get them from a local food co-op called Green Star in Ithaca, New York. They put them nicely on the side of their recycling containers because I think they know people can use them. Some of them hold laundry detergent, some of them hold dish soap, and what I do is just basically pour off the last of that into a container so I get free laundry detergent and dish soap, and then wash them real thoroughly. And then some of them hold tamari and soy, so I just use those directly. And so what I did is filled 2 of those 5-gallon containers, and I brought them down to where my currants are. And by the way, this is the sheet mulch bed, which is another video you can look at if you'd like. This is after being done with this area. All the black stuff on top is loosely spread coffee grinds. I got maybe another 200 gallons on top, and I'll remulch that with hay later on, but I'm getting sidetracked. So this is the one bed that I didn't sheet mulch, just as like a trial to see how the weeds come up without any cardboard and hay. And I have some black currants in here that are doing okay, but I'd rather get them in full light. And you can see here's one nice black currant. And what I've done is filled this 5-gallon bucket with water, brought it over, and let's get a good close view. Opened up the lid just the tiniest bit. Drip, 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 drip. And so I figure over a course of an hour or 2, or 3 or 4, the 5 gallons will drip down and slowly feed the root system for that currant, and softening it up, getting the soil really wet so that I can dig it out later on today. It calls for rain tonight, so I thought today would be a good day to do this. But dig it out and bring it over to some gardens that are way down that way. They get a ton of sunlight and are also somewhat acidic, and kind of set up shop there. Once it's in the ground over there, I'll do the same thing. Another 5 gallons of water, very, very slow drip to feed it there. And I was thinking, since I'm doing this work, I'll do 2 of them. So that's the first one. And then here's another one. Similar looking bucket, or container I should say. And if I open it up just a tiny bit, this one I'll open a little more, you can see a tiny bit of water coming out, which is pretty much ideal to just really slowly get this back up to as full water saturation as it can stand, so that it doesn't go into shock when I transplant it later on. And you can see, just a little side note, but these are some other containers that I use for this end. These are Poland spring bottles that I find in recycle bins, and I cut a hole in the back with a straight razor, or on the top I should say, and then with a drill really tiny micro holes. You probably won't even see them on the video, but there's 1, 2, 3. And so if I want to water a wider area, you can see like this whole area would be distributing water then. And I would just queue these up next to the plants that need water or are going to be transplanted. And with these 5-gallon buckets filled with water, one of these will fill 2 of these. And I just put these in 2 spots, 2 of them next to each other or wherever, and then pour the 5 gallons into them. And they take almost a day to drip out, really tiny holes. And then this one, just as an experiment, cut a bigger hole on top so it's easier to pour in there. And the holes are actually a lot larger. There's 5 of them in this one. And so this one spreads the 2.5 gallons out over the course of about an hour. So it's kind of like a slow drip irrigation system without any drip tape, and with just recyclable stuff I fish out of the recycle dumps and whatnot. Yeah, thought that might be interesting to see. You could do something else with it. Let me show another idea with these same containers. Right, so we're back over by the water catchment area, and just as a side note, again, these are same containers, 5-gallon containers, again from Green Star in Ithaca. So don't take all my containers because I like them. but maybe I'll have enough soon and you can take as many as you want. Anyway, boink. So 5-gallon container, they have on them 3/4 inch internal threading, and so I, just like in my demonstration about the actual water catchment, I bore through that with a 1-inch drill bit, and I thread in 3/4 inch threaded to a 5/8 inch barb. Actually, this one's a 1/2 inch barb, and I've attached hose to it. My thought is you fill this thing up with water, and you put on a fitting like this, but instead of having a short length of hose, maybe you have a 20 or 30 foot hose that has tiny perforations all through it. Maybe it's a hose that you hit with the lawnmower and you're going to throw out. But it would have tiny little holes all through it, and then at the far end, fold it over on itself and put on a ring clamp, hose clamp, and thread it down really hard so that it doesn't pour out the back. And then basically you have a 5-gallon local drip irrigation of whatever you need. It'd be better to show this actually in a garden, but so I might fill this up if all these plants needed watering. Again, I'd have to put a different hose on it, maybe a smaller, more flexible hose, lay it on its side with the tape going past the roots of this plant. This is a sea buckthorn, so that could probably use a lot more water than it's getting. But, you know, it'd lay past there, go to some of the other plants in the garden, and feed them all at once with one tip of the bucket, and you don't have to watch it. Anyway, thought that might be fun too. Thanks for watching!